What up, ninjas? It's your boy Naptown Ninja AJ. I'm out here at the legendary Outlaw Arena in fucking Nap on some crazy shit that happened at the last minute. I'm here with a legend, straight up. He's been everywhere that there was to be in the wrestling world. I'm talking about none other than Al Snow.
What's up, man?
Man, it's awesome to meet you. Thank you.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
So let's go back a little bit. Like, you've worked in almost every company that was anything and ever. Like, you worked, let's talk about the WWF, ECW, TNA, OVW, which we'll come back to that one in just a second.
I worked in WWA, which was Dick the Bruiser's territory back here in BBA.
Okay, now see, that would be one that my dad always told me about Dick the Bruiser and Crusher, and
Sure.
like those are the stories that I grew up on.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. So what is it like going from, I don't know, like, hold on, that was not the way I wanted to ask it.
Go ahead.
What was it like going from,
Like WWE to here?
from like, you was born and raised in Lima, Ohio, right?
Yep.
I've been there once. 15 years ago, I worked for the carnival that runs the fair, and I was so pissed off because you was making an appearance and signing autographs that day.
Oh, really?
And I was working, I was running the merry-go-round. And I was like, man, I can't go get Al Snow's autograph.
That damn merry-go-round. They keep
Yep.
going in circles.
No, exactly. So, what is it like coming from the Midwest, from a small, it's a small town,
Oh, yeah.
to traveling all over the world? Like, you've been to Japan, Mexico, all the companies that I said. So, what is that like?
I've been very blessed to get to do what I love to do for as long as I've gotten to do it, and to go see the world, and meet people that I've gotten to meet, do the things that I've gotten to do. All because of being a professional wrestler, I've gotten to see and do things that other people just read about on the internet, and it's been amazing. Just like I said, I've been truly blessed. I've been on vacation for 36 years. I haven't had to work a day in my life.
That's awesome. See, that's a little bit kind of like how we do what we do. It's amazing to think that just like when I was a kid, you were in, well, when I was a kid, you were in WWF also, but you had the mask gimmick going on?
I've had some masks. Yeah.
Aldo Montoya?
No, that was
not you. That was
Justin
my,
Credible.
damn it.
I was Avatar.
You were Avatar with the green and the red and yellow.
Mm-hmm.
I mixed it up. See, that's what happens when you Naptown's favorite stoners. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that too. So you did that, and that was when I was first getting into wrestling. When WWF had all the crazy characters, Mantar,
Oh, yeah.
and Bastion Booger,
Yeah.
and all that. Like, so what was it like going from that? Did you go from that to ECW and then back to WWF? Is that what it was? So what was it like going from something like that, where it was like the cartoon era, I guess maybe is what it would be called at WWF,
Yeah.
to such a hardcore, like, awesome thing as ECW?
Just no different than back in the day. Every territory back in the day had their own style, their own direction, and it's no different. WWE had a different approach than ECW did, and ECW had a different approach than WCW. But ultimately, no matter where you go, no matter how they approach it, style-wise, you're always selling the finish. You're always trying to give the audience what they paid to want to believe in, and that's that the outcome actually matters, that the win and loss actually have some kind of gravity to them. So, that's why I try to tell people all the time when they make this claim, oh, wrestling's changed. Wrestling hasn't changed a bit. It's developed, it's grown, it's evolved, it's gotten more sophisticated, but that's because the audience has become more sophisticated. So you have to take a more sophisticated approach to what you do in the ring to get them to buy into what you're doing. But ultimately, all they really want to believe in and care about is who you are and why you do it. That's been that way since 1901 till now. It ain't changed one bit. So,
Well, it was awesome. You came back to WWF. You did the Job Squad stuff. You brought Head back with you
Yeah, of course.
because in ECW it grew a large following with Head, and they would chant "We want Head." You brought that back with you, and you had like some notable feuds like with Big Boss Man over your dog. Sorry, I didn't want to touch on that
Well, that's
subject.
still near my heart.
You
Then I had a
you're-
bowel movement.
So you also had some good matches, crazy stories that Mick Foley is still out there telling to this day on his it's not stand up comedy, I forget what he called it.
I think spoken word
Yep,
or something.
spoken word,
Yeah.
and he's telling your stories. I will keep waiting. I've seen it a few times myself live, and I keep waiting on you to come out with the rebuttal stuff.
Yeah.
Like, but you did some, like I said, you did TNA, you did all that, and then it was last year or early this year, the wrestling world found out that you purchased OVW.
Yeah, in June of this year.
Okay, and OVW, legendary. Like, so much stuff has happened in OVW. You worked there in the past.
Sure.
Jim Cornette had a hand in it. He owned it and operated it. Did some booking and stuff back in the day.
Yeah.
People like Randy Orton, John Cena,
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar came from OVW.
Batista,
Yep, Batista.
CM Punk.
Yeah, everybody. Like, they all came through
all
there.
came through there.
So, what is it like going from, which I seen tonight, like you still got it, and you can still go, and you still have matches, and you've been doing like the wrestling. You have a wrestling school also,
Yeah.
and what is it? How hard is it to go from doing it and being on the road doing this to being the Vince McMahon kind of side of the?
It's not hard. I mean, I enjoy it very much, and it's a way for me to still get to be a part of the wrestling business and be creative and be entertaining, even though I'm not directly on the show anymore. But I get to do it vicariously through the people that I train and put in the ring in front of the audience. So I love it. It's very rewarding, and if whatever legacy I leave in the wrestling business will probably be all the people that I've trained and enabled to be able to make a career out of it.
So, what can we expect from OVW in the coming months and years?
Well, I'm gonna. We just had our 1,000th television episode a couple Wednesdays ago. We broadcast for that night. We did television live for the first time, broadcast television, and we also did a live pay-per-view. We will, go forward, and the goal is that we will do live television on a weekly basis, hopefully starting beginning of this coming year. And we'll be the only other television company besides WWE that does that.
That's awesome.
So, and then we'll continue to produce the pay-per-views, the live pay-per-views on a monthly basis, and just continue to grow and evolve, and try and do 1,000 more episodes.
Okay.
And I go, that's it, that's enough, I'm done.
All right, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I had to get my fanboy questions in.
Sure.
What's your favorite match that you were in?
I don't have one. Everybody always asks that question, and it's really hard to pick just one favorite match, because every time I come out and get an opportunity to perform in the ring in front of an audience, no matter what the size of the audience, it's always, I love it so much that it's hard to just, out of thousands of matches over 36 years, to go, you know what, that one particular one is, that's the most favorite one. It's really hard to do that.
Did you have an opponent that you preferred, that you liked working with a little more than?
Well, there were plenty of guys like that, that I really, you'd click with, and it's what we call, you get in there with certain guys, and it was like a day off. We call it a day off, because you didn't have to, it was, if you get in there with the wrong ones, it's like pulling, we could say it's like pulling teeth. It's just as painful and just as much work and effort to do it. And, but, you get lucky, and there's those certain guys you get in there, and it's like, oh, geez, it's like a day off. And I'd have to say, one of the guys just recently that just not that long ago at an independent show in West Virginia, I got to work with George South again. It was just such a unbelievably consummate professional, like, and you don't realize, and when you're in the ring with the, you know, and I'm not dissing the young guys, but they really don't understand how much fun and how physically effortless it can be if you're in there with a guy that's truly working with you. I mean, really, just nothing hurts. You don't hurt him, he don't hurt you. The crowd does what you want, when they want you want them to, as much as you want them to. And I literally showed up at the show late. He was out at the gimmick table. Saw him 5 minutes, I'm not exaggerating, 5 minutes before we went out. We argued about who was going to go over. Not that I wanted to go over and he wanted to go over. He wanted to put me over, and I wanted to put him over. So we were arguing about who was going to put who over.
That's awesome.
Finally, he won the argument, because his music hit and he ran out there first. We had not talked over anything other than just, we decided I'd hit him with the head for the finish. That was it. Nothing else. And we were in there laughing and joking and cutting up while we were doing that, and nobody in the building had any idea. And when I won, the people literally, the entire building stood on its feet. And it's those nights that make you go, God, man, this is why I do it. This is why I do it. And it was just, you miss them. You know, those are those nights that keep you going, because it makes you keep going. Oh man, if I just keep one more like that, maybe tonight will be the night, maybe the night. And it's, you know, but they're rare. You don't get them often, because you don't get a guy like George South all the time anymore.
Yeah, that is true. So now one more. Is there a dream match? I know these are the typical fanboy questions, but I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan. Is there a dream match? Maybe somebody you never got to face, or maybe somebody that from now that what do you think would be an awesome?
From now, probably get to work with Vince. That way I make the most money. That'd be the thing. And he, to be quite honest, he's fantastic as a heel in the ring. I mean, he is nobody better than him.
That guy is in crazy shape I don't even know exactly how old he is. Yeah, like insane.
He's jacked.
Yeah.
He'd beat your ass.
Thank you very much once
Thank you.
again. Legendary right here, Al Snow. That's it. That's what's up, ninjas.